Here in Bethany, Oklahoma. We're inside the Pick and Springer Gymnasium, waiting the tip-off of tonight's Lady Eagles basketball game. Tonight's game features your Lady Eagles with a 9-2 overall record and a 2-2 conference record as they square off against the visitors, Southwestern Assemblies of God Lady Lions. The Lady Lions come in 7-4, but they are also 2-2 in the conference, and so this should be an interesting game. Southwestern dropped their second game of the season this past Saturday afternoon against the Langston Lions. Ended up losing by 2. The Eagles trailed as many as 16 at one point, but only by 7 with 40 seconds to go. They were able to cut that lead down to 2 with a chance to tie, but they just quite able to get over that hump. Saw a lot of Christmas rust, I think. Had the season-high 33 turnovers in that game, which is a little out of the ordinary for them, and it ended up costing them the game. So hopefully tonight they can clean that up. Despite that loss, Southwestern still ranks top 5 in the NAIA in scoring offense. They're number 5 in the nation, and they're number 1 in field goal percentage and also in the three-point percentage. They have also been extremely generous with the ball, moving the ball. They lead, or they are third nationally with 19.7 assists per game. That also leads the Sooner Athletic Conference. SAGU comes off of a win, 67-41 this past Saturday against Oklahoma Panhandle State University. Interestingly enough, the Lions have yet to drop an away game. They have 5 wins in a row on the road, and so they, I guess, typically tend to come out hot away from home. Their player to watch for sure tonight is Lexi Rich. She ranks 10th nationally and 4th in the Sooner Athletic Conference in scoring with 18.4 points per game. So much like our own Kylie Vestal, the Lions kind of feed off of their leader, Lexi Rich. Last year, SAGU won both of our season contests, but then the Eagles came back in the regionals last March and beat SAGU by 10 points. As I mentioned, the leader for Southwestern, Kylie Vestal, is averaging almost 15 points a game, and to offset Lexi Rich's 18 points a game. So Kylie's going to have to get going early. Overall, SAGU doesn't score as many points as Southwestern on a regular basis. Southwestern averaging 85.6 points per game compared to SAGU's 70.9 points per game. One of the big differences I think we'll see tonight, there's a little bit of a gap, is in rebounding. The Lions have a better average than the Eagles, 39.5%. Or 39.5 rebounds per game for the Eagles compared to 43.5 for the Lady Lions. Keys for tonight, a couple interesting keys. I think one will be to watch the turnover count. Southwestern's got to clean it up from where we were the other night. Again, I would attribute that to some Christmas rust. That doesn't seem to be the typical mode of operation, although the Eagles' turnovers per game has shot up to 15.7 after the other night, but 33 turnovers in a game will do that to you. One other interesting thing about tonight's game is that our starters have been pretty much the same all year, but tonight, a little adjustment in the lineup. Courtney Jones suffered a concussion in the last game, and so tonight, Tamires Andrade, a junior from Brazil, will step into that starting lineup for Southwestern. It's almost time for the starting lineups, and so we'll be sending you down courtside here shortly to have prayer and the national anthem. Would encourage you to stick around during halftime of the Lady Eagles games. We're going to have head coach of the men's Eagles, first-year coach Brandon Rollins, will join us for an interview. So here we go. Let's send you down courtside, and we'll get started getting ready for the tip-off.
Southwestern Assemblies of God Lions and your Southwestern Christian University Eagles. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps for prayer and the playing of our national anthem. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today and we give you thanks for a God that truly loves us and cares for us. So, dear Lord, as we continue on this evening, I pray, Lord, that we will show Christ's love in all that we do and all that we say. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, once again, welcome to Southwestern Christian University. This is Steve Ely here with you to call the action of the Lady Eagles game as they square off against Southwestern Assemblies of God, the Lady Lions. The Lady Eagles are 9-2. The Lady Lions are 7-4. My running partner, Danny Nix, is out of town this evening, and he'll be back shortly, but I'll be with you tonight. The Lady Eagles are in their gray uniforms with their royal blue and black highlights. The Lady Lions are in purple trimmed in white.
Junior center, number 21, Philly Green. And junior guard, number 23, Sydney Metter.
Again, tonight we're watching for ball security. I'm sure that's been stressed since last Saturday's game. Lady Eagles getting ready to have their starting lineup announced, and as I mentioned in the pregame, one small shift in lineup. Kylie Vestal will be in the lineup, Jamie Clark, Mackenzie Jans, and McKenna Morley. That's standard, but typically senior forward Courtney Jones is the fifth player, but tonight she's out with concussion, and so junior Tamira's Andrade will be stepping into that role.
Senior guard from Eric, Oklahoma, number 22, Mackenzie Jans. Senior forward from Cordell, Oklahoma, number 23, McKenna Morley. And junior forward from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, number 24, Damaris Andrade.
Look for a fast start for the Lady Lions as they've yet to drop a road game this year. So hopefully the Eagles are up to that and ready to match and meet their intensity. All right, here we go. Southwestern controls the tip. Vestal's bringing the ball up. Over to Andrade in the top of the key, over to Jans. Look for a back cut there for Andrade. It just wasn't there, so wisely they pull it out. Andrade puts her head down and goes to the rim. Takes a wild shot. Misses everything. I think she was looking for a little contact, didn't get it. That's her game. She tends to go hard towards the basket and lives at the free throw line, but just didn't get enough contact there. So SAGU now has the ball. Southwestern in man-to-man. Deep outside shot taken by SAGU. Rebound controlled by Green. Oh, good steal by Jamie Clark. Pushing the ball ahead. Andrade takes another shot, gets bumped with no call at all. Should have been a foul called there, I think. So SAGU comes away with the ball. Southwestern still in man. Wild left-handed shot hit the top of the backboard for Lexi Rich and still drops. Not sure how that made it through. That hit on the top of the backboard. It fell straight down. We're going to get a turnover on Andrade carrying the ball. So the ball will go over to the Lady Lions. So 3 empty trips, all 3 times ball going through the hands of Andrade. The other girls are going to have to get involved, I think. Southwestern stays in a man-to-man. Clark playing defense against Rich, which is going to be a tough task this evening, I think. She switches. Andrade is going to pull the rebound down and start ahead for a fast break. She's got a trail. She gets her head up. She did not, but she draws the foul. Foul's called on number 21, Green. That's her first. That's also the team's first foul. So Vestal inbounds the ball. Little shot clock issue, and so referee blows the whistle, and we'll reset with 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Lady Eagles. Inbounds to Clark. Long two-point shot misses. Morley skies up there for the rebound and in the traffic, pulls it down, and pulls out for a new possession. Vestal dribbling at the top of the key, hands off to Andrade, who's going to put her head down and try to get to the basket again. Does again. Still no call. Misses the layup. Vestal pulls the rebound. Andrade goes. Vestal kicks it over to Morley. Morley takes a long three-point shot. Andrade battles for the rebound and gets fouled. Foul's called on Cash. That's her first, team second. Andrade will be at the free throw line shooting 2. In and out. So Andrade will take the second of the free throws, and she makes it to pull the score 1-2. Eagles down by 1. So four trips down the court, and Southwestern comes away with 1 point out of all that. So good backdoor cut by the Lady Lions. Lions pull the rebound down. Clark still on Rich. Oh, nice dish underneath. She dribbled baseline. They cut her off, but they left someone standing up under the basket free, and Rich finds them. Mackenzie Jans is called for the foul. That's her first, team's first. Kiera Glenn is at the line for the Lady Lions to shoot 2. Correction, that's Alexis Cash. She missed the first and the second. And good, we get over the back on number 21, Green. That's her second foul, team's third. That's a big foul. She has substantial height compared to the rest of the Lions, and so that's a big foul. Duro checks in for the Lions, and so a little token pressure by the Lions, but Eagles easily break that and coming to the front court. Vestal at the top of the key with the ball. Ball into Andrade's hands. She's going to go to the basket again and finds Morley underneath, kicks it back out to Jans, and we're going to get a 3-second violation called on Andrade. Everybody standing around watching a little bit instead of anticipating the shot. Lady Lions with the basketball. Still in man-to-man. Probably will be for most of the evening. Lady Eagles are switching on all the picks at the moment. They've got the shot clock down to 5. Rich has got to fire it up. Long three-point shot, misses it. Andrade gets the rebound and is on the fast break and is going to go strong to the basket and draw the foul. Foul's called on number 22. Correction, 23, Metter. That's her first, team's fourth. Andrade will be back at the line shooting 2. Andrade makes a living at the free throw line. And she missed. She's normally a pretty consistent free throw shooter, but she's missed a couple here to start the game. Something about this north end goal this season, it seems like there's been a lid on it. Not sure what that's about, but Andrade is going to check out, and Kia Mays is going to check in. She had a great game last game, and so she's early into the rotation. She provides a three-point threat off the bench and is usually pretty aggressive looking for that shot. Eagles are still in a man, and Lions take a long three-point shot and miss. Glenn misses. Mays gets the rebound. Clark with the ball on the far wing, dribbles around to the top of the key, finds Vestal, who kicks it over to Mays and sets a pick. Mays is dribbling around the top of the key, picks her dribble up, finds Clark. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Clark drives, kicks it out to Mays, and instantly Mays hits a three-point shot right off the bench as advertised, she comes in ready to shoot. Good pass by Clark. She penetrated and kicked. And so the Lady Eagles are up 5-2. Lady Eagles are going to stay in this man. Really loading the lane with a bunch of players, the Lions do, and try to set that up. They've got the ball on the post and then kick it out to the top. But the Eagles are there in the rotation. Good defense, and we're going to get a traveling violation called on number 23, Metter. And so the Lady Eagles now have the basketball. And checking into the game, number 10, Trisha Yeager, another three-point threat off the bench. She'll come in to run the point as Vestal takes a seat. Trisha Yeager was a huge contributor first part of the season. She kicks the ball over to Clark, who takes a long three in and out, and the Lions control the rebound and push hard down the floor, and we're going to get a foul by McKenna Morley. They beat us down the court, and it results in an out-of-position foul and puts Sydney Metter to the line to shoot two. Southwestern just didn't rotate back on defense, and it put them out of position, and so Morley had to foul. Metter hits the first of two, draws the Lady Lions within two, and she hits her second, so the score's 5-4 Lady Eagles, and the Lions are immediately into a full-court press. Jans controls the ball, comes across half court. Yeager comes and takes it, handoff from Jans, and will set the offense up. Swings the ball to Morley. Morley lobs it into Jans, who finds herself wide open for a little mid-range jump shot and drills it. 7-4 Lady Eagles. Nice look by Morley, and Jans was ready to shoot as soon as she touched the ball. So the Lions are back on offense. Southwestern back on defense. Long three-point shot for the Lions, hit by number 12, Darrow. No one rotated over on a pick, and she just squared up and hit it to draw it to a 7-7 tie. With 4 minutes left in the first quarter, Jans returns the favor to Morley and dumps it down low, but Morley misses the little chip shot, and Lions come away with the rebound and push hard onto the offensive end. And turnover to Clark. Clark's on a fast break. Going to go all the way left-handed, or switches over to right hand, makes the layup. Good take there by Clark. Good body control. So the Lady Eagles go up 9-7. Lions kick the ball over to Rich, really trying to get her involved. Good baseline cut, but Jans tries to step over and take the foul, but it gets called for the charge, or for the block. She tries to draw a charge. I think there's a conversation about whether she was in the restricted area or not, and they're going to say she was in the restricted area, so they're going to call that, count the basket. Second foul on Mackenzie Jans. She'll have to come out, along with Jamie Clark coming out. Vestal will come back in along with Hannah Wade, who tends to be a rebounding force for the Lady Eagles. Lexi Rich is at the line trying to complete the three-point play, and her free throw rims out, and Morley controls the rebound and sends the Eagles on the offensive attack. Yeager with the ball kicks it over to Wade. Wade's waiting for someone to cut, finds Vestal at the top of the key, who finds Yeager at the wing. Mays now with the ball at the top of the key, kicks the ball into Morley. Morley's at the free throw line, hands it off to Yeager, who kicks it out to Mays. Only 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Somebody's going to have to put up a shot. Only 2 seconds left. So the Eagles will be inbounding in backcourt with only 2 seconds left on the shot clock. So they're going to have to find a shot quickly here. So Vestal inbounds the ball. Somebody's got to get open. She finds Mays. Mays tries to put it up, and they call shot clock violation. Not sure that was exactly a shot clock violation since it was a blocked shot, but actually thankful that they called it that way because it stopped the Lions from getting a fast break against the Eagles. So still 9-9 with 2:55. Lions have the ball. Eagles on defense. Pass down to the baseline, back out to the top of the key, over to the wing. Trisha Yeager in her face, she gives up the baseline, and the foul's going to be called on Yeager. Her first, team's fourth. Cannot give up that baseline. She'd have put her foot on the baseline. She'd have had another defender basically there, but instead it's going to result in the Poe at the line for the Lady Lions, and she hits her free throw to give the Lady Lions a 1-point lead with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left in the first period. And she hit both of her free throws. Yeager will control the ball, running the point guard for the Eagles. Finds Vestal on the wing. Kicks it down on the block to Morley, who puts the ball down and drives against Rich. But they're going to call a travel. So the turnover bug is raising its ugly head a little bit here. And we've had a couple empty trips. The Lions are up 11-9 with 2:28 left in the first period. Number 12, Duro's running the point for the Lions. Kicks it over to number 14, Cash. They really look to get the ball to Rich, which that's a cheap foul called. Hannah Wade called with the touch foul. That's her first, but it also is the team fifth, so it's going to put Rich at the line to shoot two. That was a little bit suspect there. The ref on the far side of the court called that. Rich hits her free throw. And it's good. She makes both of her free throws. SAGU's already taken 7 free throws on the night. Yeager dribbles behind the back, hits the little mid-range jumper. That's her game right there. When she's aggressive offensively, she's a really big boost to the Lady Eagles. So she brings the Eagles back within 2. Eagles down 11-13 with 1:45, and we're going to get a traveling violation against the Lady Lions, number 5, Lauren Baker. So Yeager back on the attack, brings the ball across half court, drives down, hands the ball off to Mays. Kicks it out to Wade, and Wade's going to get called for the travel. Coach Arthur imploring them to tighten it up a little bit. There's too many turnovers, 5 turnovers in the game so far for the Lady Eagles. Doesn't sound like that many, but we're still have a minute and a half left in the first half, and the first period. You extrapolate that out, and you've got 20 turnovers in the game. Number 23, Sydney Metter, hits a short mid-range jumper for the Lady Lions. Yeager brings the ball up, kicks it out to Wade, looking to hand the ball off to Mays. Mays picks her dribble up, finds Morley on the outside, puts the ball on the floor, and she gets stripped for another turnover. Rich on the attack, kicks the ball out to Metter. Long three-point shot, and she buries it. And the Lady Lions go up 18-11 with just under a minute left in the first period. And another turnover. Morley caught the ball on the block, but then took 2 steps, results in another turnover. And that's going to get Bettis up off the bench. Ashley Bettis for the Eagles. Just trying to find somebody that can hold on to the ball without turning it over. Lady Lions are on the attack offensively with 38 seconds left in the first period. Wade comes down with a rebound that was taken at the free throw line. Yeager pushing the ball up, finds Mays wide open for a 3. She's going to be way long. Bettis is the beneficiary of a bounce off of Vestal right into her hands, and she puts the little layup up and makes 2 points. So there's a fortuitous bounce for Bettis. 7 seconds left. Rich with the ball in her hands puts up a quick 3. Comes off a little long. Mays controls the rebound, and that's going to end your first period with the Lady Eagles down 13-18, and basically boils down to empty possessions and points off of turnovers. The Lady Lions already have 6 points off of the Lady Eagles turnovers, 5 turnovers in the first period. Other than that, pretty even across the board, 41% shooting for SAGU compared to 38% for the Eagles. The big difference is the Lady Lions have been at the line a considerable number of times more than the Lady Eagles. 9 free throws attempted by the Lady Lions compared to 4 for Southwestern Christian. So that's one of those stats you don't like to see because it means we're getting called for some fouls that the other team is not being called for. Right now, your leading scorers for the Lady Lions, Metter has 7, and Mays for the Eagles have 3. So nobody's just blowing it up here, but just kind of spreading the ball around, looking and trying to find some places to get some scoring action going. Low scoring output, really, for both teams from where they normally seem to be during the season, but I would assume that will pick up as we go into the second period. So for the Lady Eagles in the second period, your starters will be Vestal, Clark, Andrade, Yeager, and Jans. Again, down by 5, 13-18. Going into the second period, it'll be Lady Lions basketball. This is an important period for Jan. She's already got 2 personal fouls. She cannot afford to pick up another foul, or she's going to have to sit for a little while. So she's going to have to play solid D here. And right off the bat, the Lady Lions hit a 3-point shot. Tamara Darrow picks up a 3-point shot off of the screen. Yeager kicks the ball over to Andrade. I would assume she's going to attack again. Jans had her player pinned, and Andrade tried to lob the ball to her, but lobbed it all the way out of bounds. So another turnover for the Lady Eagles. And so the Lions come down the floor up 8. Everything's working through Rich at the moment. Nice pass by Rich, but Andrade comes over and gets the block and then kicks the ball over to Jans with her head up, and we're on the fast break. Clark and Vestal, and of course Vestal is wide open for the layup, but she comes up gimpy. She twisted her ankle, but she's trying to run it off, so a little scary there for a second. Vestal was pretty beat up after the last game. She took some hard shots against Langston, wound up on the floor several times. That was a little scary there because she came up really favoring her ankle, but she seems to have walked it off. And Metter goes up and takes a mid-range jump shot, but Andrade comes over and fouls her. That'll be her first foul, team's first. Puts Metter at the line to shoot 2. She misses her first free throw. Lady Lions are currently up 21-15 with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left in the ball game. In the first half, correction. She made her second shot, so now 22-15. Clark controls the ball up the floor for the Lady Eagles. Rich on her playing defense. Over to Andrade to Yeager. Over to Vestal. Ooh, and Vestal tries to just drive down to the wing and take a shot, but number 1, Kira Glenn, rises up and blocks it, but blocks it out of bounds. So it'll be Southwestern's ball with 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Yeager into Clark. Guarded by Rich. Andrade over to Andrade. She's going to put the ball on the floor and turn it over. That's several turnovers for Andrade already. That she's putting the ball on the floor, but the Lions are reaching in, steal it. Now Andrade returns the favor and steals the ball from Rich to Vestal. Vestal goes up for a layup, but is blocked from behind by Rich, and they're going to call a foul on Rich. And that'll put, that's her first, and that'll put Vestal at the line shooting 2.
To the line, number 1, Kylie Vestal. 2 shots.
So Vestal steps to the line, ready to take her free throw shots. And hits her first. 16 to 22 now. Lady Eagles trailing by 6 with 7:58 left in the second period. And Vestal hits her second free throw as well. Yeah, Eagles are in. Oh, Vestal almost steals the ball. They weren't paying attention. Just rolled it in, and she came from past half court almost to get it. I'd like to see a little pressure put on by the Eagles. I don't know if they can handle it or not. And we're going to get a blocking foul called on Andrade. She tries to step in and draw the charge, but she was moving, and so that's 2 fouls on her, second team foul. That'll get Mays back up off the bench for the Lady Eagles. So the Lions have the ball. With 7:45 left in the game. And number 1, Kiera Glenn, little crossover to the free throw line and then hits the pull-up to give the Lady Lions a 7-point lead. Yeager bringing the ball down, working hard on offense, and she draws the foul. That's Duro's first personal foul, second team foul. I don't know if these teams have figured this out yet, but this particular referee likes to call the touch fouls. You cannot put your hands on the offensive player or she will call it. Yeager into Clark. Over to Mays. Mays looking at Jan on the block. She puts the ball down and drives hard on Rich and makes the little bank shot to bring the Lady Eagles within 5, 24-19 now. Number 12, Tamara Duro drove, got up in the air, and then turned and just found Alexis Cash standing in the lane and dumps the ball to her, and she scores 2 points to put the Lady Lions back up by 7. Mays looking for Jans, has to kick it back out to Yeager. Yeager turns the corner, pretty dish to Jans for another 2 points. Beautiful drive and dish by Yeager and finish by Jans to bring the Eagles within 5. 6:29 left in the first half. Eagles are still in the man-to-man. Rich has the ball for the Lady Lions, looking for a pick. Clark playing defense on her. She's had a hard time getting away from Clark tonight. And then we're going to get a traveling violation called on Kiera Glenn. So the turnover bug has bitten both teams. 7 turnovers for each team. Morley's going to check in for the Eagles, and Baker in for the Lions, along with number 21 Green. Vestal controls the ball, brings it up over half court. Morley receives the pass, hands it back off to Vestal. Vestal turns, gets blocked. Jans battles for the rebound, but they're going to say it was off Jans, and so the ball will stay with the Lions. So Lady Eagles on defense. Vestal plays good defense, but the shot is missed by number 1, Glenn, but the very tall Green's there to gather the rebound and put it back in and put the Lady Lions up by 7. Nice pass from Clark to Morley, and Morley misses the shot. And the ball will go over to the Lady Lions. Morley's just a little off on her shot tonight for some reason. Lady Eagles back on defense. 5 minutes left in the first half. Metter driving hard to the basket. Morley steps over and helps, and she puts it up in and off the glass. Jans kicks the ball into Clark. Clark dribbles up the court. Over to Vestal at the top of the key. Waiting for the offense to set up. Clark gets the ball back on the wing, finds Jans at the top of the key. Over to Mays. Looking for Vestal at the top of the key. Vestal starts to put the ball on the floor and almost turns it over, but grabs it and finds a wide open Jans for another 2 points. Fortunate with that bounce there. It was almost a turnover, but instead it results in 2 points for the Eagles. Down by 7 with 4:30 left in the first half. Jans on Metter. Metter puts the ball down, goes to the center of the lane, goes up left-handed, and Morley gathers the rebound, kicks it out to Vestal. Vestal's pushing up the floor, picks up her dribble, finds Morley on the wing. Morley back to Vestal. Vestal over to Mays. Mays finds Jan at the free throw line. Jans puts the ball on, spins, and misses everything. And Green gathers the rebound for the Lady Lions. And we're going to have a carrying violation on number 5, Baker, for the Lions. It was obvious, and the ref called it. So it'll be Lady Eagles basketball. Vestal brings the ball up the court. Again, I want to remind you, stick around at halftime. Coach Brandon Rollins is scheduled to be here, the men's coach here at Southwestern, in his first year, and we'll be interviewing him. Lady Eagles have the basketball. Vestal has the ball on the wing, finds a backdoor cut by Jans, tries to go up and shoot it, but her shot gets blocked, and the ball comes out to the Lady Lions. But they're going to call it off the Lady Eagles. And Hannah Wade is going to check in for Jans. So 3:37 left in the first half, down by 7. Number 12 drives down to the baseline and just pulls up and hits a little jump shot. Not much defense there. Darrow scores 2 points for the Lady Lions. Morley driving the baseline, tries to go up, and they're going to call a traveling violation on Morley. Morley's having a hard time getting on track tonight. A lot of height under there when number 21 Green is in the game, and that caused her some problems. Number 14, Casher, is now in the game for the Lady Lions. Lady Eagles are down 9 points, which is 3 minutes left in the first half. And they're going to get a foul called on Morley. She tried to rotate back on defense, but she was behind the player. That'll be her second. Team foul. Third team foul. Number 14, Alexis Casher, will be on the line shooting 2. SAGU is just living at the line. It's their 12th free throw already. Bettis is set to check in for the Lady Eagles, but she misses the free throw. And so Hannah Wade with the rebound pushes up court, trying to find somebody to give the ball to. She gives it to Clark. Clark picks up a pick from Morley. Morley drives baseline, and we're going to get a foul called. Fortunately, or they were going to call a walk. Reach in by Baker. That'll give a dead ball so that Bettis will check in for the Lady Eagles for Morley. Vestal inbounds the ball under our own basket. We're going to get our first timeout of the half. Lady Eagles are down 10 points with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. The main difference right now for the game is the number of free throws. Southwestern's only taken 6 compared to the Lady Lions 13. Southwestern is leading in the rebound category 13-8. Leading in the steal category 4-1. Leading in the turnover category 8-9. But it's just the free throw line. If you take the free throw line out, they'll be tied or just ahead in the game. So it's got to quit reaching. Vestal will inbounds the ball under our own basket. Nobody's moving, so she throws the ball way outside to Mays. Mays dribbles at the top of the key. Almost turned it over. Kicks the ball over to Vestal. Vestal's looking for a pick, and we're going to get a foul for having 2 hands on Vestal. That's number 5, which is Lauren Baker. That's her second personal foul, 4th team foul. Again, nobody moving really, but they find Hannah Wade on the inbounds path. She puts the ball hard on the floor to Clark. Clark turns the corner after picking up a screen by Bettis. Nice crossover Gives it back out to Mays. Mays is going to go baseline and try to kick it in off the bank. Nothing doing there, and the Lady Lions come out with the rebound. Vestal steps in and steals the pass and is on a fast break and pulls up and hits the little jumper to bring the score within 8. Nice play there by Vestal. Anticipated the pass, stepped over and stole the pass, and scores on the other end. Eagles are still in man-to-man. And a long two-point shot made by Kiera Glenn. The Lions seem to have an answer every time Southwestern scores. Hannah Wade pulls up a wide open three. Bettis battles for the rebound, finds a cutting Clark to the basket. She goes up and she's blocked by Green. Green is a handful. She's tall. But she's going to come out of the game now for Rich. It'll be the Eagles' ball with 17 seconds left on the shot clock, trailing by 10. Out to Bettis, over to Wade. Back out to Vestal. And we're going to get an illegal pick called on Bettis.
Foul number 34, Ashley Bettis.
That'll be her first.
First personal foul, fourth team foul.
Team's fourth. Minute and a half left in the first half. Number one, Glenn dribbles down hard through the lane, tries to put up a layup, but Vestal blocks her shot. Minute 22 left in the first half. Lady Lions with the ball, hands it off to Rich on the wing. Not much movement with the Lady Lions right now, standing still. They let Rich go baseline, and Bettis steps over and draws the offensive foul. Great play by Bettis there to pick up the second personal foul on Bettis. She played it perfectly. She put her foot on that baseline, so the baseline acted like another defender, and Rich had nowhere to go and just put her head down and ran right over. The result is a turnover and a charge called. Vestal control the ball coming up the floor, goes behind her back. Baker giving chase, and we're setting up the offense on this end. Over to Mays, out to Hannah Wade at the top of the key, over to Clark on the wing. Clark dribbling, trying to find somebody to help. Over to Mays. Mays almost turns it over. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. And then she turns it over. Clark deflects it, but can't corral it, and it's going to result in a little wide open jump shot for number 5, Baker, who comes up with the ball at the free throw line and banks it in to put the Lady Lions up 12. Vestal down, crosses over. She's going to draw a foul on number 5. That's going to be her third foul, and we'll probably get her out of the game and also put Vestal at the line. That's the 15th foul as well. So 32 seconds left in the first half. Lady Eagles down by 12. Have only scored 25 points in this first half. That's way below their season average. They're struggling to get the ball to go through the hoop. So Vestal's to the line, shooting 2. She makes her first. All right, the Lady Lions are going to hold the ball for, well, I thought they were going to hold it for the last shot, but number 1, Glenn pulled up with about 8 seconds left. Mays corrals it, takes the shot, gets blocked. Hannah Wade, Johnny on the spot, picks up the rebound and misses the follow, and that'll be the end of the first half. Lady Eagles 26, Lady Lions 37. So, again, a little subpar from where we've been throughout the season. Just not shooting quite at the clip that we normally do. So let me give you some rundown on our stats. And then here in just a moment, I'll be joined by head coach of the men's basketball team, Brandon Rollins, a.k.a. B-Row. Stats for the first half. The SAGU Lady Lions shot 54% compared to Southwestern's 40%. 3-point percentage, Lady Lions were 3 for 7, 42%. Lady Eagles only shot 20% from the three-point line. That's unusual for them. The free throw stats pretty close to the same, although the Lady Lions had a lot more attempts. They went 8 for 13, 61%, and against 5 for 8 for the Lady Eagles. Southwestern controlling the board 16-10. Turnovers, 11 turnovers by the Lady Lions compared to 10 for the Lady Eagles. Your leading scorers, Sydney Metter for the Lady Lions had 10 points. Also contributing that first half with 8 points was Darrow, and then Lexi Rich with 6, way below her season average. For the Lady Eagles, had a couple players really that scored. That was basically it. Kylie Vestal had 7 points, and Mackenzie Jans had 8 points. Other than that, not much action. Andrade had 4 rebounds, but just couldn't get the ball to go through the hoop. So hopefully as we come out of this break and go into the second half, we will see the Lady Eagles pick it up on the offensive end a little bit and see some of those shots drop that we're used to seeing. It's my pleasure this evening to be joined by first-year coach here at Southwestern Christian University, Brandon Rollins. Of course, Brandon's no stranger to Southwestern. In my opinion, one of the most underrated players while he played here. It's been a minute, I think, since you. How long was it ago when you played?
It's been 7 years.
Oh
now.
Man,
yeah.
I'm getting old. That doesn't seem possible. But Brandon was here and started on varsity and did a great job. He was never the fastest or the tallest, but he was always in the right spot at the right time and made some major contributions. Graduated from Southwestern and then went on to be an assistant coach, the main assistant coach, I guess, there at Mid-America University, alongside Josh Gamblin, also an alumnus of Southwestern. I couldn't remember if you actually played with Josh while you were here. Was he already? Had he already?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Two good years. Yeah, and so it was. Those guys formed a good friendship and partnership while they were here. So, like I say, it's my pleasure to introduce him to you, our listening audience tonight, as the head coach here at Southwestern. So, tell us a little bit, Brandon, about you to start off with. I know you're married and have he has the cutest girl in the gym when his little daughter's here. So, tell us about you and your wife and your daughter, and just give me a little background. Then we'll talk some basketball.
Been married going on 5 years this summer. Daughter's 1. She's definitely a ball of energy. Every time she's here, she's trying to run on the court.
That's for sure.
Run on the court and see me, and it's a blessing for her to run in my arms, no matter what the score is at halftime. I have to have that. It definitely balances me back out immediately.
Yeah, that's awesome. It kind of puts everything in priority, doesn't it?
It does.
Basketball's important, but not nearly that important.
Not even close.
Man, I was so competitive. I was over the top competitive. I got myself in trouble sometimes being so competitive until I had my own boys, and then it just changes everything. It doesn't matter so much. So, I think to everybody's maybe a little bit surprised. I don't know that anybody expected in first year for the guys to come out with some of the recent history to come out as strong as they've come out. They're currently 9-2. I think that's a testament to you, honestly, that you are kind of a stabilizing force for them really early. In the early days here as a coach, was this what you expected? What were you looking at when you came in?
I don't think you can ever kind of quantify what being a head coach is.
Yeah.
I've been coaching, going on now for 8 years, and just that one chair over it's
huge, isn't it?
It's huge. Constant thought in the team, and just being over control over so many people is just it's a big difference, but it's a blessing.
Yeah. Trying to manage all those relationships can be a challenge.
Yes.
Trying to figure out how to pull the best out of each kid.
Right.
It's tough.
Right. But getting to know them, I do think that my age gives me an advantage of still being relational.
Yeah.
I'm not too close to their age, but I'm also still connected. I'm not too far removed. So I truly believe I'm in a sweet spot right now.
Yeah.
Definitely got blessed with some amazing talent, especially so late in the year to kind of get the job in the summer.
Yeah, because you didn't really get a chance to do much recruiting.
Right, not at all. My first signee was July 4th.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's late in the game.
Yeah, July 4th, and once he signed, it just kind of seemed like, God just kept blessing left and right, left and right, left and right. To kind of get to where we are today. And I think, we're starting to find ourselves as a team. I'm definitely starting to find myself more as a coach. And we can kind of see that, we can feel that, every day.
Yeah. So in your evaluation right now, what's the strong suit of your team right now?
I would say defensively, positionally defensively.
Yeah.
We don't cause a ton of turnovers, but when it matters, we can hold a team late in the shot clock.
Yeah.
We're currently right now, I believe, 9th in defensive rebounding.
Yeah.
So
there's some stats here that are pretty impressive. You're holding teams to just under 30 or 39% shooting from the field. That's huge.
Yeah. And we're first in the nation in free throw percentage right now. And that's been huge for us, especially the last 2 games, Langston and Central, where it's kind of a messy game, a slow game, a ton of foul calls. For us to execute on the line and continue to do that has definitely been huge for us.
Yeah, I hear you. That's important. Like you say, against Langston, that was big. There were 58 fouls, I think, called in that game. So if you don't hit your free throws, you lose.
Right.
So what are some of the goals? I know we're kind of in the really deep part of still early in the season, but this is the tough part of the season. It can kind of get long here and tiring. What are your goals right now?
Our goals is just to build every day.
Yeah.
I feel like we had a great week of practice. Just continuing to find ourselves and know what we are.
Yeah.
We do have some talented guys, but that doesn't always mean anything.
Yeah.
So for us to just feel like we've gotten better every day, no matter what the result is, we know that our talent over time will kind of take care of some things.
Gotcha. So against Langston, I noticed, and I'll let you go here in just a second. I know you got to get ready for your game, but against Langston, I noticed you were a little bit shorthanded.
Right.
After we come off the Christmas break, is that going to be the case for the foreseeable future, or we got some guys working some things out?
We have 2 today, so we'll be back to our original original number.
Good.
Which is huge for us.
Yeah.
Especially tonight. SAGU is extremely talented, extremely athletic. So this won't be a team we'll be able to out-athlete.
Yeah.
So we need the bodies. So.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen early on, it really, for you, it really comes down to guard play.
Mm-hmm.
Whether your guards are on the floor and you have enough of them. If one of them gets in foul trouble, there's some situations that you don't match up well. So your main guards have to stay on the floor and be active. So. Well, man, it's been a pleasure to watch early on. I watched the first couple games. I think what made me proud was not the wins. It was the way you won, and I could see you trying to shape culture.
Yes.
There was some attitudes in the first game, first couple games actually.
Yeah.
And although we still see flare-ups occasionally, it doesn't seem to be what it was, which was the first 3 or 4 games. It was like every game we were getting 2 technicals or something like that on players just mouthing off.
Right.
And it seems like you've got I'm not saying they won't show up as a 19-year-old kid and do it again, but I think that's what's made me proud is I see you kind of getting a handle on it and letting them know that that's not what this team is going to be about.
Right.
And I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Making sure that I don't give them any room to kind of create bad habits.
Yeah.
Or build on habits that they may have had.
Yeah.
So that's, when we talk about building, it's more than just on the court.
Sure.
So we're headed in the right direction.
You're making men out of them, and they've got you're setting them up to be successful in life, not just on the basketball floor.
Yes, sir,
and sometimes we're getting our own way a little bit.
Yeah.
So, well, man, good luck to you. It's a pleasure to have you on board. I'm so glad when I found out that you were going to be the head coach here. I was thrilled. My only regret is that I don't have a son playing basketball here right now.
I wish you did. You have one that can shoot it for sure.
He's got 1 year eligibility left. I keep bugging him, but he's about to get married, so I don't think he's coming back. His mind's on something else right now.
I know how that goes.
He's got to make some money, but he certainly has a high regard for you. Got to spend some time with you here and at Mid-America. But, man, it's a pleasure to have you, and I'm looking forward to a great, not just season, but a great career here, however long that may be, and wherever the Lord leads you. I know that when it's all said and done and the day is over, you'll have left an impact on some kids, and that's what it's all about. So good luck to you, man. and we'll be rooting for you.
All right, thank you.
Well, that was Coach Brandon Rollins here at Southwestern, head coach of the men's basketball team, and I encourage you to come out and watch a game if you get the chance. Like I said, the kids are not perfect, and Coach Rollins is doing his best to shift some culture and some attitudes, and but that's all part of the growth process, and he's doing a great job, and he's a character guy. That's what I like about him. Also knows the basketball part of it, but he's a character guy, and he's doing a great job. So I encourage you to come check us out. We've got about 4.5 minutes left in halftime, and we're going to take a break here, and then we'll be back for the second half, and let's root these Lady Eagles on and hope they get their shooting going and put a dent in this lead and pull away from the Lady Lions. This is Steve Ely, 4 minutes and 23 seconds, and we'll be right back with you. All right, here we go. 50 seconds left before we start this second half. The Lady Eagles will have the basketball. Your starting lineup will be the starting lineup for the game: Vestal, Clark, Morley, Jans, and Andrade. Really need to get going offensively. Just not shooting the ball extremely well at the moment. Only 16% from the three-point line, 1 for 6. So just really need to find a way to get the ball through the hoop. But we'll be going on the end of the court where the basket seems to be, at least this season, it seems like every time we go south on this court, we seem to do better. So maybe that will translate into some points. Lady Lions are going to put a little pressure on the inbounds path, try to keep the ball out of Vestal's hands. And so Andrade brings the ball into Clark. Clark will dribble at the top of the key, kicks the ball over to Andrade. Now kicks it out to Morley. Morley's looking for someone to pass the ball to Clark. Vestal gets the ball on a pick, dribbles to the top of the key, over to Clark. Clark now at the top of the key, long three-point shot, misses, and Rich controls the rebound for the Lady Lions. Lady Lions push the ball hard, and a little mid-range jumper made by Glenn for 2 points. Glenn is good about just pulling up and taking a little jumper instead of going all the way in and drawing contact. Not sure the Eagles have adjusted to that yet. Now Morley controls the ball out to Vestal. Vestal dribbles, hands the ball off to Clark. Back to Andrade. Andrade is going to put the ball down and go hard to the hole and misses the layup. A contested layup, but nevertheless she misses it, and Vestal's going to get called for a reach-in foul coming from behind, trying to get a hold of Rich. That's her first foul, team's first foul. Rich will inbounds the ball. Out to Glenn. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Dribbling against Clark. Glenn picks up a pick from Green. Green backdoor cuts, gets the lob, misses the layup, and Andretti comes down with the rebound and brings the ball into the front court. Andrade goes hard to the basket and makes the layup. They haven't been able to stop her from getting to the basket tonight. She just hadn't been able to complete her shot, but there she was able to finish the layup and pick up her second point. Glenn comes down working against Clark, throws up a shot, and they're going to call the foul on Clark and send Glenn to the line. That's Clark's first foul, team's second foul.
Foul on number 20, Jamie Clark. First personal foul, second team foul.
Glenn shoots and makes her first free throw to give the Lady Lions a 12-point lead. And she rattles the second one home. Jans inbounds to Vestal. Vestal working against Glenn. Little full court token pressure by Glenn. Vestal breaks that easily. Gives the ball to Morley. Morley looks to hand the ball off to Clark. Clark puts the ball on the floor, kicks it out to Vestal. Vestal's going to shoot the long three and miss long. And Green controls the rebound, and now Rich is pushing the ball. Kicks it out to Metter. Metter uses the Rich screen, puts up the shot, and misses. And then Jans blocks out number 14, Kasher, her second personal foul, first team foul. So Lady Eagles basketball, good defensive stop there. Got to back that up with some points here. Andrade is going to go to the hole again and gets all the way to the rim, tries a reverse layup, misses everything. And on a fast break, Metters is going to be called for the travel. So Jans inbounds the ball to Clark. Clark brings it up across half court. Somebody's going to have to get going offensively for the Eagles. It's been a struggle this evening. Clark gets a big pick and then drains a three from the assist by Jans. There was nobody within 10 feet of Clark, and she drains that three to bring the Lady Eagles back within 10 points. Need another defensive stop. Glenn puts the ball on the floor and once again pulls up for that little mid-range jumper. Jans blocks out and tips the ball over to Morley. Morley pushes it ahead to Andrade. Andrade kicks it out to Clark. Clark passed up the three-point shot. Now Andrade has the ball. Kicks it back out to Jans. Jans is wide open. Passes on the three-point shot. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Morley has the ball at the free throw line, working, and puts up a left-handed layup and is fouled. Misses the shot, but draws the foul on number 14. Casher, that's her third. Team second. That's going to result in a substitution for the Lady Lions. Tamara Duro checking in for Glenn. And Morley misses her free throw. Makes her second to draw the Lady Eagles within 9. Duro brings the ball up for the Lady Lions. Gets a screen from Metters. Andrade switches off on the pick to her. Andrade fell down, and the result is Darrow turns the corner and gets a wide open jump shot for 2 points. Clark controlling the ball for the Lady Eagles, running point. Kicks it out over on the wing to Andrade. Back to Jans at the top of the key. Once again to Clark. Tried to set that same three-point shot up, but Duro fought through the pick. Andrade goes left-handed, gets all the way to the rim, makes the little layup to score 2 points. They just can't stop her. If she can complete the play, she's a huge asset. Vestal shoots the gap, almost picks off the pass to Rich, but Rich controls it and then gets called for the carrying violation. So turnover results in ball going over to the Lady Eagles, down 9 points. Clark brings the ball up the floor for the Lady Eagles. Got to back these defensive stops up with some points each and every time to cut this lead down. Jan's over to Andrade, and she makes the hard cut. Should have been a foul called. She got hit in the body, but they didn't call it. She makes the layup. She can get to the rim at will at this point. The only other thing I don't like about what I see about that, I love the fact that she can get to the rim, but everybody else is standing around watching her. Nobody's going in for a rebound if she misses. So I'm going to have to work on that. Can't just watch her work. Good defense by Andrade. Grabs the missed shot by Metter. Pulls down court. Clark wide open for the three. Long three-pointer. Bang. 43-39. Lady Eagles are only down 4 points now. Huge three-point shot there. Andrade's found Clark standing wide open on the far wing. We had a couple players still on the floor, back on the Lady Lions end of the floor, and so Clark was wide open. Results in a timeout called by the Lady Lions. 43-39, Lady Lions lead with 4:44 left in the third period. That's the third three-point shot made for the Lady Eagles. And so that's a huge help right there. And looks like Clark is leading the Lady Eagles with 8 points, along with Mackenzie Jans' 8 points and Tamira's Andrade 8 points. Kylie Vestal has 7. So well-rounded. Just got to keep working it, finding those open baskets. Andrade's work in the lane has resulted in 22 points in the paint by the Eagles. So that's huge as well. So Andrade also has 6 rebounds in the game. So far, the Lady Eagles have been very successful with holding off Lexi Rich. She only has 6 points in the game right now. She is their leader, averaging 18 points a game, so she's way below her season average at the moment. So the Lady Eagles have done a good job. Clark in the first half, and now Vestal in the second half has drawn that assignment. Duro's probing, trying to get open, kicks the ball over to Rich. Rich drives, throws up a wild shot, and the ball is pulled down by Morley. Vestal pushing hard. Hands the ball off to Morley. Hands the ball back off to Clark at the top of the key to set up the offense. Drops it into Morley. Morley's looking for someone to cut. Now over to Andrade, who tries to drive, but it's picked up by Metters and stopped. Back to Jans at the free throw line. Back to Andrade. Went one against 3. And unfortunately, ball rolls off the front of the rim.
Foul number 14, Asher.
And that's going to be Kasher's 4th personal foul. So she's going to have to go sit on the bench for a little while. And number 1, Kiera Glenn's going to come back in the game. Andrade is going to be at the line shooting 2. That was the 3rd team foul. That ball almost dropped for a 3-point play. And she misses her free throw. And she makes her second. Once again, within 3 points. So the Eagles have fought back here, cut the lead to manageable. Now just need to put the foot down defensively and get a stop and then go down and take the lead. Metter controls the ball at the top of the key for the Lady Lions, hits a backdoor cut by Glenn. 21. Green pulls the rebound but misses the shot. Andrade on the fast break finds a cutting Vestal on the backside to score the 2 points. Nice look, nice feed. Results in an easy 2 points for the Lady Eagles and draw within 1 point of the Lady Lions. Eagles are finding something that works a little bit here. Just got to keep the pedal down. Rich with the ball at the top of the key, getting a double pick on both sides of Vestal. Vestal fights through the pick. They swing it back around to Metters, trying to... they dump the ball over the top to Green. Andrade comes over, tries to help, and fouls Green. That'll be Andrade's 3rd foul, team's 3rd foul. That also puts Green at the line to shoot 2. And she missed the first one badly. Now she's taking her second shot. And she makes that. Go back up by 2 points, 44-42. Lady Lions lead. Clark controlling the ball up the floor for the Lady Eagles. Over to Andrade. Out to Morley. Morley thought about the 3, pulls it down, kicks it over to Clark. Vestal gets a pick by Morley over to Andrade, who's going to go baseline and going to pick up a foul by Kiera Glenn. That's her first. Team's 4th. Some of the Lady Eagles have been a little hesitant to shoot 3 because every time they square up for the 3, Green pops out to play defense, and she's so tall, it's just hard to see over her. Clark gets the ball, inbounds pass, and the ball's knocked out of her hands by number 20, Rich. But the ball will stay with the Lady Eagles with 19 seconds left on the shot clock, 2:48 left in the quarter. Andrade to inbounds the ball, gets it over to Clark in the corner. Clark dribbles around to the top of the key to set up the offense, drops it down to Jans. Jans is at the free throw line, kicks it out to Vestal, down to Morley on the block. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Jans is going to have to, Andrade's got to, she puts it up and hits nothing. No air ball, partially tipped, I think. So Lady Lions on the attack. And number 12, Tamara Darrow, just puts her head down and goes to the basket and scores the 2 points to extend the lead to 4. Clark over to Vestal. Vestal into Jans. Jans puts the ball down and hits the bottom of the backboard. Coach Mark is up asking for a foul, but they didn't call it. And number 12 takes the layup and misses it. But Green pulls the rebound, kicks it out to Metter, and she missed the 3-point shot, and the Eagles are on the fast break. Clark with a long 3-point shot, in and out. Morley goes up for the rebound, misses it, but Vestal hustles over and gets the loose ball. Jans picks it up from her out to Andrade, and we're going to set up with Vestal out top with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Now Andrade is going to take it to the hole, kicks it out to Vestal, and Vestal's going to not only hit the 3-point shot, she's going to get fouled. She drains the 3, gets fouled by number 1, Lexi Rich, which will be her 3rd personal foul. That puts Vestal at the line with the possibility of tying the ball game up. Right now it's 45-46, but Vestal will be at the line with 1 free throw. Kia Mays is going to check in for Clark, and Hannah Wade's going to check in for Jans. That's a huge play there. Also puts Vestal into double figures for the evening. First Eagle to get into double figures tonight. And Vestal drains it. Brand new ball game. 46-46. Trisha Yeager checks in for Vestal, gives her a break. Lady Eagles start pointing out who they have on defense, and we're still in man-to-man. Andrade, Wade, Mays, Morley, and Yeager on the floor for the Lady Eagles. It's an important stretch here with a minute left. Andrade strips the ball, gets the turnover, gets fouled but no call, kicks the ball out to Mays. Mays kicks the ball down to the baseline to Wade, and Wade tries to make the shot, but once again, Green is there and wants the block shot, but also called for the foul. That's her third personal foul. Hannah Wade, number 33, will be at the line shooting 2, giving Southwestern their first chance to take the lead tonight. And she drains it, and the Lady Eagles take a lead. And she takes her second shot and misses it, and Green pulls down the rebound. That's a walk called on the Lady Lions for the 15th turnover of the game for the Lady Lions. And Schnoder checks in for the Lady Eagles. Jillian Schnoder. So Mays is running the point guard right now for the Eagles with 47 seconds left. Yeager takes the ball on the wing, kicks it out to Schnoder at the top of the key, who finds Mays over on the wing. Yeager gets the ball at the top of the key, dribbling, looking out to Mays, back to Yeager. And then Yeager turns the ball over to Metters. Metters on the fast break, misses the layup. Yeager pulls the rebound, so nothing hurt there. Yeager controlling the ball with 20 seconds left. Looks like the Lady Eagles will hold for one shot. Wade with the ball, picks up her dribble, hands it back off to Yeager. Yeager over to Schnoder. Into Wade, size disadvantage. Oh, and misses the contested layup. Ball went everywhere but in. It rolled all around the basket and just wouldn't drop. And so a great period for the Lady Eagles. They erase a 12-point lead to take a 1-point lead, 47-46 going into the fourth quarter. Some foul trouble to speak of for the Lady Lions. Casher has 4 fouls, Rich has 3 fouls, and Green has 3 fouls, and Baker has 3 fouls. The only player with 3 fouls for the Eagles is Andrade. So good third quarter there. Eagles started shooting a little bit better, 33% from the three-point line, 60% from the line, from the free throw line. Still winning the rebound contest 24-20, and no turnovers, I don't believe, in that third period for the Eagles. And so that's a welcome sight. Vestal's leading all scorers with 13. Jamie Clark has 8. Jans has 8. Andrade has 9. For the Lady Lions, Darrow is leading all their scores with 12. Metter has 10. And Glenn has 8. Still, Lexi Rich still just at 6 points for the evening. So good defensive job and effort by the Eagles. On the floor for the Eagles going into the fourth period, it'll be Yeager, Mays, Wade, Morley, and Schnoder. One of the taller lineups that we can put on the floor. It will be the Lady Lions basketball with 10 minutes left in the game. So here we're set for the last 10 minutes. Glenn has the ball at the top of the key, working against Yeager. She drives in, and Morley, quick hands, deflects the ball, kicks it over to Mays, who misses the layup on the fast break. So Lady Lions back the other way, contested layup. And the refs aren't sure who it belongs to, so they're going to give the ball to the Lady Lions. Not sure that was the right call, but nobody really could see it. So the Lady Lions control the basketball and get a wide open layup from Darrow. Defender made the mistake of turning her head, and when she did, it result was a layup. Yeager gets a three-point look. Schroeder with the rebound. Reset for the Eagles over to Morley, who gets the three-point look. Yeager fights hard for the rebound, but they're going to say it's off of Yeager, but I don't believe so. They're going to give the ball to the Lions, but I think that was off of Green. That ball was off of Green, but they're going to give it to Yeager. Coach Mark arguing, but they're not going to change it now. And Glenn puts up a high arching shot from the free throw line and misses. Wade controls the rebound and brings the ball down the floor. Picks her dribble up, gives it to Mays. A little stagnant offensively here. Got to start moving. Morley gets the ball, lobs it into Wade. Wade can't handle the pass and squirts out of her hands, out of bounds over to the Lady Lions. It's a tough entry pass. I think she should have caught it, but she's still suffering from injury to her finger. And Glenn battles through and gets a two-point shot. Vestal checking in for the Lady Eagles. Dumps the ball into Morley, who kicks it out to a wide open Jans for three, and she drains it. So the Lady Lions come down. Metters fakes the three-point shot, driving baseline, but we're going to get a call on Jans for reaching in. That'll be her third foul. Team's first. And that's going to get Rich checked back in the game for the Lady Lions. Andrade is back in for the game for the Eagles along with Jans and Clark. Oh, good. Andrade rotates around. Morley's contesting Metters, and Andrade picks up the foul, the strip, and then makes a beautiful move to make a layup to give the Eagles their largest lead of the game at 2 points. Jans picks up a double screen at the top of the key and then kicks the ball over to a wide open Duro, who misses the three-point shot. Vestal pulls the rebound down, is on a fast break, pushing hard to Andrade. Andrade's going to go up and get blocked by the shortest player on the court, number 5, and Coach Arthur is getting upset with no call for sure because there was definitely contact, and now they're going to call contact on this end, the same exact play. And that's on Jans. That'll be her fourth foul, second team foul. And Glenn will be at the line shooting 2. She misses her first free throw. So the Lady Lions are up in full court pressure. Clark beats that, kicks the ball over to Andrade. Jans hands it back off to Andrade. Vestal into Jans for a layup, and she gets a hard foul on number 12, Duro. That's her second. Coach Mark still arguing his case about the call on this end not being called and then called on the other end. Casher's going to check back in for the Lady Lions, and she has 4 fouls, so this is a risky time for her with 6 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Jans makes her first free throw. 51-53, Eagles lead. And she came up short in her second one. Metters with the ball, turns and is wide open, so she shoots a 3. Mackenzie Jans didn't rotate out far enough, and then that gives the Lady Lions the lead, 54-53. Just lapse in concentration there. Got to know who you're guarding. She's hit several threes this evening. And Clark tries to return the favor, misses, and Metters comes down with the rebound. And Glenn pulls up for that little jump shot she's hit so many times tonight, but it rolls out. Vestal kicks the ball over to Andrade, who's going to try a 3. She hardly ever shoots a 3, and she misses. And the Lady Lions are on the attack. Duro's just going to pull up at the free throw line. Misses. Kicks the ball. Morley kicks the ball out to Vestal, who hits a cutting Andrade for a wide open layup to give the Eagles a 55-54 lead, and Coach Mark Arthur calls a timeout. I think he wants to talk to them a little bit about their defensive effort. That was 2 trips down in a row where there was no defense played at all. And the result was 1 hit 3 and 1 missed jump shot, fortunately. And so the Lady Eagles are up 1 point with 5 minutes and 38 seconds left. We hope to have Coach Mark Arthur with us in the halftime of the men's game to talk Lady Eagles basketball, so I encourage you to stick around for that. The Lady Eagles are going to be on the road this week to Texas Wesleyan University and Oklahoma City University. Oklahoma City University right now is ranked 2nd, and so that should be a tough game. Then they'll be back home on the 16th against John Brown University at 6 p.m., and then on the 18th, Bacone College at 2 p.m. So encourage you to follow the Eagles as they go on the road here in the next week, and then back home. Lady Lions basketball, Rich will inbounds the ball to Glenn with 5:38 left in the fourth period. Glenn trying to find someone open, no one moving. Metters going to take the baseline, put Jans in a tough situation with 4 fouls. Casher pulls down the rebound, kicks it out to Rich, who steps out for a 3-point shot, misses. Vestal on the rebound, hits an Andrade, who hits the left-handed layup. They just cannot compete with her going to the rim. She's just too strong, too fast, and when she's connecting, she's just impossible to stop. Rich makes 2 points to keep the lead only 1 for the Lady Eagles. Morley's controlling the ball, kicks it out to Andrade. Over to Jans at the free throw line. Jans hands it off to Clark, who's going to turn the corner against Rich and put the ball up and draw the foul on Rich. That's Rich's 4th foul. Team's 2nd foul. Clark's going to be at the line shooting 2. 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the game. Big free throws here for Clark. And she makes her first. Clark hits both of her free throws to give her 10 points and to be the 3rd Eagle in double figures along with Vestal and Andrade. Andrade leads all scorers with 15 points. Lady Lions on attack, Metters with the ball. Jans playing defense against her. good rotation. Morley rotated over against a cutting Darrow who put up a shot. Andrade fights for the rebound, but unfortunately falls, and when she does, she lands out of bounds. So the ball will go over to the Lady Lions. There's going to be a question about the shot clock, whether it should have reset or not. And it will. It does reset to the 30 seconds because Andrade controlled the rebound before she fell out of bounds. Lady Lions basketball. Vestal working against Metter on the inbounds pass. Good. Ooh. And the referee calls a foul on an absolutely clear block against Vestal. Vestal blocked that ball so clean. She couldn't have made it any cleaner if she had a bottle of Windex. That was clean. And the referee was blocked and couldn't see it and still calls the foul. And Metters steps to the line and hits the free throw to pull the Lady Lions within 2. Hits her second free throw line. And a timeout, Lady Lions. Coach Mark is arguing. Horrible call. Just a horrible call. Hate it when the referee tries to make a call on the backside of the play. Has no way to see the play because he's blocked by several bodies and still tries to make the call on the far side of the court. Just a horrendous call. You got a referee standing right here on the play, and he doesn't make the call. So it's 58-59. Lady Eagles are up. 4 minutes left. The Lady Lions are showing full court pressure. Vestal, Jans, Clark, Morley, and Andrade have played almost this entire fourth quarter and continue to do so. Jans brings the ball into Vestal. Again, still working against full court pressure, but Vestal handles that easily. Turns the corner, looking for Clark, but she's picked up, so she kicks the ball over to Jans. Ooh, Andrade was wide open back door, but she falls, so we have to reset. She has the ball in the wing. She finds Vestal turning the corner, and Vestal banks the ball in to give the Lady Eagles a three-point play. Glenn brings the ball up, kicks the ball over to the far wing. Maduro Andrade playing great defense. He missed it again. He calls out of bounds. Calls out of bounds on Vestal, and she never touched the ball. Went off of the Lady Lions, and he missed it again. Same referee. Coach Mark is frustrated because the Eagles played great defense. Andrade and Vestal both pushed through screens to defend and then don't get the benefit of the call. Vestal goes down hard, and the result is a three-point shot by Darrow, but she misses. Andrade clears the rebound, brings the ball across the half-court line, gives it to Vestal. Vestal's going to dribble out to the top, set up the offense, passes over to Jans. Jans to the top of the key for Andrade, over to the wing for Vestal, looking for a cutting Jans. Clark at the top of the key, now back to Andrade, back to Jans. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Somebody's going to have to take the shot. Morley down on the block is going to have to go up. Jans goes up for the three, and desperation three drains it from deep from the top of the key to finally give the Lady Eagles a little breathing room. Glenn tries to drive hard, steps through, misses her little shot, goes up and ties the ball up with Morley, and now that's going to result in the Lady Eagles getting the jump ball possession arrow. And Baker's going to check in for the Lady Lions. She also has 3 fouls and has been on the bench a good bit of this second half because of that. They need her now. 2:27 left in the game. Jan's bringing the ball up across the half court, hands the ball off to Vestal way out by the half court line. Vestal's looking for Jans. Backdoor cut Clark. Clark waits for the defense to clear, jumps up, banks it in. Starting to click on all cylinders now. That brings Jamie Clark into double figures with 10 points. Matters has the ball at the top of the key. Jans is playing her. Andrade steps over, tries to strip the ball, doesn't pull it off, but results in a wild shot by Matters, and Morley clears the rebound to Clark, and Clark brings it across the timeline. Wild pass to Vestal, and she just couldn't handle it and drops it out of bounds for the Eagles' 13th turnover, but only the second turnover of this whole second half. So much more like the Lady Eagles we're used to seeing. Now they have a lead 66-58 with 1:37, and we got an illegal screen called on number 23. Should have had several of those called this evening, but have not been called. That's Metter's second foul, team's third foul. And it looks like we may have a technical foul called on number 23 as well. When he called the moving screen on her for her second foul, she got a little heated with the referee, and he rung her up, I believe. And I believe that's her third personal foul. That will result in her coming off the floor. Kiera Glenn checks back in the game for her. Vestal will be stepping to the line to shoot the technical fouls.
3 personal fouls.
That's Metter's third personal foul. Vestal short arms the first free throw and misses it, unlike her normally. That she was 4 for 5 from the free throw line until that shot, so now she's 4 for 6. Tired legs, I'm sure. She's been on the floor a lot tonight. And she completes that one. So gives the Eagles a 9-point lead with 1:36 left. Plus, the Lady Eagles have the basketball, and Coach Arthur calls a 30-second timeout. So big turnaround here in this game. Offensively, just much better than the first half. First half, I think we had 25 points at the end of the first half, and now we have 67. So I don't know what it is about this north end of the gym, but it's kind of held true all year. When we're going north, we tend to struggle to score, and that just hadn't been true for the Eagles. That's been true for any team going north. It's also been true in the guys' games for some reason. But thankfully, we're going the right direction this second half. So it's Lady Eagles basketball, 1:36 left. Still have Vestal, Jans, Clark, and Andrade. Jans throws the ball in backcourt to Vestal, who brings it across the timeline, being closely guarded by Doro. And Doro's going to get a turnover. She stripped the ball from Vestal. Now Morley's putting pressure on, and now Doro misses, goes up, and the ball's tipped, but she last touched it, so the ball goes over to the Lady Eagles. Lady Lions will be in full court pressure now. Into Clark. Oh, runs into Jans. And finally, we're going to get a foul called. Again, same referee from way off the play calls the foul. That's Glenn's second foul, team's fifth foul. So Clark will be at the line, shooting 2.
Line number 20, Jamie Clark. 2 shots.
And Clark drains the first one for her 13th point. Clark's had a solid game tonight. We've got 4 Eagles in double figures. She completes her trip to the free throw with a make, and so now we have an 11-point lead with 1:15 left. Lady Lions bring the ball down. Glenn goes hard to the basket. It's going to draw the foul. And I believe that's going to be on Jans, and yes, it is, and that's going to be her 5th foul. Mackenzie Jans had a great game. She's going to complete the night with a 6 for 9 effort from the floor, 1 for 2 from the line, 2 assists, 3 assists, and 15 points. So she hit a couple key baskets at key moments. She also went 2 for 2 from the three-point line. So just an overall solid stat field night for her offensively when we really needed it the most. Glenn hits her first free throw to draw the Lady Lions within 10 with 1:12 left. Yeager checked in for the Lady Eagles to replace Jans. Andrade corrals the missed free throw, looking for some help. She kicks the ball out to Vestal, who comes flying up the court, who now gives the ball over to Clark. Clark's just going to dribble it out. They're going to have to foul. Yeager now with the ball. She's going to get fouled. Yep, sure enough, they could have called it earlier because Duro body checked Yeager. So Yeager will go to the line. That's Duro's third personal foul. Yeager will be at the line shooting 2. Lady Lions didn't like the call, but it was absolute body check there. Yeager hits the free throw and hits the second free throw. Solid free throw shooter. You would expect her to step up and hit those, and she does. So Glenn brings the ball down against Yeager. She's going to pull up at the free throw line and shoot. And what she was making at the first half, going the other way, she was making, now she's missing. We've got a conversation between the referees. One way out by half court is going to call a foul on number 23, Morley, who was trying to block out. That's her third personal foul, team's 5th. 14, Kasher will be at the line, shooting 2. She misses her first free throw. And she makes her second free throw. And we get a timeout call by the Lady Lions, down 11 points with 49 seconds left. So now it's going to come down to ball control and hitting your free throws because the Lady Lions are going to have to foul to stop the clock with 49 seconds left. Good effort by the Lady Eagles here. They were kind of flat coming out in the first half, only scored 25 points. And then all of a sudden, just kind of got it going and have scored 51 points in this half. So it's good to see that. That's much more like what we're used to seeing from the Lady Eagles. Spread out scoring between several players. That's typical for Lady Eagles. Currently have 4 players in double figures. Both Morley and Andrade are only 1 rebound each away, or correction, Morley 1 rebound away, Andrade 2 rebounds away from having a double-double. So we'll see. Andrade inbounds the ball, gets the ball out to Clark, back over to Andrade. He's going to dribble up and kick over to Vestal, cutting down the court. She's going to dribble it out and kicks it out to Clark, who has the ball stolen by Rich. And they're just going to let her go down and make the left-handed layup to draw within 9 points, 34 seconds left. Clark brings the ball down against pressure from Rich, and then number 12, Duro, reaches over and fouls her, and that's her 4th foul. Clark will be at the line shooting 2. Important free throws here, only down 9, and she drains the first. Between her and Yeager, you don't want either one of them at the line shooting free throws if you're on the losing end, because they're typically going to hit their free throws. She's 5 for 5 tonight from the line. So Eagles back up by 9 with 27 seconds left. Andrade pressuring against Duro. No pressure, no contact there. And Yeager goes in, tries to get the rebound, and gets creamed. Morley blocks the shot, but they're going to call a foul on her, and that'll be her 4th. And Kasher will go back to the line. So 17.9 seconds left. Lady Lions shooting 2. Kasher hits the first to pull them within 10. And Kasher puts up her second and misses, but Baker pulls down the rebound. But Andrade just crushes her shot, just put it right back in her face. And then Andrade grabs the block shot and gets fouled by Glenn. So Andrade will walk down to the other line and other end and go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Significant size difference there between Baker and Andrade, and Baker pulled the rebound down and turned to shoot, and when she did, Andrade was standing there and just fed it right back to her. So Andrade at the line to shoot 2. Makes the first for her 16th point of the night to tie Vestal and Clark. Not a bad night when you have 3 players with 16 points. Now Andrade has 17 points. And Jans also had 15 points. So Glenn comes down the floor, tries to score quickly, misses. Andrade ties the ball up with Kasher. We're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to the Lady Lions with 4.5 seconds left, trailing by 12. Andrade dives and tips the ball out of bounds, and it kills 2 seconds off the clock, so now 2.3 seconds left in the game. Great win here for the Lady Eagles. Like I said, they came out a little flat, but they rallied, took care of the ball much better tonight. Going to end up with 15 turnovers, but much better effort than the 33 from the other night. Rich pulls out the 3, rattles in and out. And so that ends the night with the Lady Eagles winning 75-63. And just an overall good night for the Lady Eagles after we got into the second half. Your stats for the night, let me refresh to make sure I'm giving you current. The Lady Lions shot 36% from the field, 33% from the three-point line, 62% from the free throw line. The Lady Eagles shot 42% from the field, 33% from the three-point line, and 72% from the free throw line. The free throw count finally evened out a little bit there in the second half. The Lady Lions took 27 free throws, the Lady Eagles 29. The Lady Eagles won the rebounding contest 33-28. Shared the ball well all night long, just like they normally do. 14 assists on the night. Big difference tonight. The Lady Eagles had 9 steals, only had 15 turnovers to the Lady Lions 20 turnovers. And bench scoring. The Lady Lions scored 18 points off the bench. The Lady Eagles 10 points in the paint, pretty even, 30 and 34. Lady Eagles getting the nod there. And your individual stat leaders, Sydney Metter had 15 points on the night. And Tamara Darrow with 14 points. And Glenn had 12. Lexi Rich, averaging almost 19 points a game, only had 10 points. So the Lady Eagles did a solid job on her defensively. A big nod to Vestal and to Clark for shutting her down. Green had 10 rebounds on the night. She's a force to be reckoned with underneath. Your scoring leaders for the Eagles, Tamara's Andrade with 17 points. 5 of those coming from the free throw line. Contributed 8 rebounds. McKenna Morley struggled offensively all night long, but contributed with 9 rebounds on the night, so she came up big. Also, Mackenzie Jans had 15 points. Jamie Clark had a huge night, 16 points, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. And Kylie Vestal with 16 points, 5 for 7 from the free throw line. Just overall, just a solid night. Across the board, 4 players for the Eagles in double figures. So the Lady Eagles pull it out. Tough first half, but they just put their nose to the grindstone, if you will, and just battle. And in that third quarter, they turn the momentum and come back to take the lead and end up winning the game. So from Southwestern Christian University, we're going to take a break here. The men will be playing the Eagles against the Lions. As you heard Coach Rollins say, the Lions are a tough team, have a lot of athletes, a lot of height. And so this could be a tough game for the Eagles, and I encourage you to stick around and watch tonight. At halftime, we hope to have Coach Mark Arthur, the head coach of the Lady Eagles, here on the broadcast for an interview, and we'll ask him some questions about basketball and hopefully about his health status as well. Those, I know many of you are praying for him in his battle against cancer, and we'll try to get an update for you tonight if we can get him over here for that. So once again, we're going to sign off here from Southwestern Christian University inside the Pickens Springers Gymnasium for a few minutes. The men's game is set to start in about 16 minutes from now, so join us for that broadcast. I'm Steve Ely. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again shortly.